Okay, we're all set.
All right, welcome everybody to our first LPPTA PTA meeting of 2021. So we have a small group, it looks like today, and I'll ask everybody if they can help Tiffany out, our secretary, just by jotting down your first and last name if we need it. I think, Sasha, we can figure out based on you being here, but I'll make sure as other people join in that it helps Tiffany to keep with the attendance. And if Mrs. Bello, I don't know if you gave me share screen access, but I'll go ahead and just kind of
let me do that.
Share my screen when that pops through.
Okay, so that you should be good.
Okay. So what I'm going to pull up is just the agenda. So just let me know if you guys can see. I put it so that it's my screen, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So can everybody see that? I know it's probably small, so I can kind of zoom in as well. But so from an introduction perspective, we have all of our board members. Sasha, do you want to introduce yourself to us if you feel comfortable? Totally okay if you don't. So I'm Penny Myler, the president. We have Megan Fess, our treasurer here, Tiffany Lawrence, our secretary, Amanda Andriata, our vice president. And I just have, we were going to do, if we had enough that joined, we would do our bylaws vote, but I think we'll table that for today, and then we'll reconvene maybe in a week or two with a special meeting to go ahead and review the bylaws that need to be reviewed every 3 years and voted on by the membership. So I just have a couple kind of opening remarks, and then we'll have Mrs. Bello kind of give us an update, and then we'll go through. I'm not sure if there's going to be a Board of Education representative. Mrs. Bello, do you know, did you hear if anyone was able to?
Nobody said anything to me as of
I know a lot of times Jess Krupa's able to get on, but sometimes, you know, they've got prior obligations and double bookings and things like that. So if a board representative pops on, we'll be sure to make room in the agenda. But the first few things that I wanted to mention, this Thursday, we have our equity and culturally responsive joint PTA meeting with the district. So Mary Groh, superintendent, and Cheryl Doblertine, the director of secondary education, along with Terry Robeson, the director of elementary education. They are going to give a presentation this Thursday, the 21st at 7 o'clock via Zoom. Mrs. Bello did put it in her newsletter this past Friday. We can send out another talking points as well, and we'll update our Facebook page with that information. But they'll be speaking on diversity, equity, and culturally responsive education in our district, including discussing the work of the diversity and equity committee. So the three of them will do a presentation followed up with a Q&A. And again, it's kind of co-sponsored, well, more than hosted from all of the PTA and PTSAs throughout the district. So that's this Thursday. The other thing I wanted to just mention for conversation a little bit later is the LP scholarship for Eastridge graduates to apply for, and Megan knows more of the dollar amount. I think it's a $500 scholarship that gets doubled from Dollars for Scholars. So we just need to determine whether or not, if we have the budget for that same 500, there's different things that we used to do to make up, you know, that money. So we can kind of figure out if we're still able to commit to the 500, or if for this year we may want to reduce it. Tara Oaks is open to, you know, whichever. They're just grateful for people to be able to still offer the scholarships for our new 2021 graduates. And then as far as from a membership standpoint, membership is a year-long thing, but PTA for New York State has what's called Great PTA Sign-Up Day, where they're hoping on February 10th to get over 1,200 people registered in that particular day. I don't know what that means particular for, you know, an actual goal for us, but it did just bring to top of mind new year that we should maybe put some things together to get out, maybe a simple flyer or something that's just paper based, leading them to our member hub to encourage those to join us. So those are the first few things that I wanted to review. So I'll go ahead and stop share, and then I'll have Mrs. Bello, if you have an update on what's going on at LP.
Sure. Okay. So first I want to welcome, we had a couple of people join us while you were going over the agenda there, Penny. So welcome to those who just joined us. I'm Megan Bello. If I've not had a chance to meet you yet, I'm the principal at LP. Just a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. So the first thing, I wanted to talk about COVID really quickly. I know we're COVID overload, but just an update on that. So 14609 is still considered, which is where our school is, in an orange designated zone. So we are continuing our rapid COVID testing, which we have to test 20% a month. Which for us is about 3 individuals a day, and that could be students or staff. So it's about 15 people altogether a week. I am still sending talking points, emails to families. If your student is selected for that testing week, I do it the Friday before. So if you've not heard from me, then rest assured that your child's not being tested. So you will always hear from me first. I just want to make sure that that's clear, because I know that that was a little confusing for some people. So we will never test your child without you knowing. That's important. The other thing that I want to make sure that we talk about is the kids getting sick. So in normal years, and I'm a mom, I have 2 kids, I would load them up with some Advil and send them to school, and, knew that they'd be okay because it was just a small cold or nothing serious. This year, we just can't do that. And unfortunately, a lot of the symptoms that are associated with COVID are, your typical cold or sinus infection, ear infection, even stomach irritation. So if your child is sick, we ask that you keep them home, and they do need to be seen by their doctor. And I understand that this is a huge inconvenience. And it's not normal. You don't normally need to see your child's doctor for every little thing, but unfortunately, that doctor is either going to clear them and give them an alternative diagnosis so they can come back to school, or they're going to refer them to go get COVID tested. So we need that documentation in order for the kids to come back to school. So I feel like a broken record in talking about it, but there's still a little misunderstanding about what that looks like. And we're not trying to be mean. We're not trying to make your life more difficult. It's just unfortunately the circumstances, and we have to keep everybody safe. The good news is that LP continues to do very well in keeping those numbers low in terms of people testing positive and the spread. There's been no spread in the building. Okay, any questions about that before I move on to the next thing?
I'm sorry guys, I can't see y'all guys. I meant to say something when y'all was telling me, but I couldn't get in there right.
Oh, that's okay.
I was feeling bad. I was like, I'm trying to speak, but I can't. Oh my God, why?
Oh, well, we hear you now.
Yeah. Let me get myself, let me go. Okay. Oh, now.
There you are. Yes.
I'm so happy.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us and for
joining here with me.
Hi.
How are you, honey?
Good.
Good to see your face.
She's been working so hard. I've been happy for her. I'm like, yes, girl, just work. Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do. That's your focus right now.
Yes, the kids are working so hard. I think the kids are doing better than the adults in a lot of ways. So, yeah, thanks for joining us.
I'm so glad I was able to.
Good.
I wasn't here being a mother, but I was all around here, washing clothes, taking one a shower. I was like, I got to get in that meeting.
Oh, yeah, take a minute, right? And just to join. It's kind of fun that we can do it virtually.
Yeah, yeah,
right? It
yeah.
just
It
makes
feels
it
good.
accessible to everybody. I do like,
Mhm. I
very
like it.
cool,
I'm
very
so
cool.
happy to see y'all guys.
Good.
Too.
Are there any other questions? I see Amal's iPhone, so I don't know who that is, or Joy. By the way, Joy is my favorite word, so that's my favorite
Hello.
name. Hello,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm doing
That's my
good.
nephew.
Good. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, I have
I'm,
like I had four students today. Two of my nieces and two of my sisters. She passed away when he was
Oh, I'm
4.
sorry.
So
Okay.
his father's working hard, so he stays here from Monday through Friday. So we just work. We just keep
Oh,
working.
good
Hmm
for you. You've got your hands full.
I'm learning
Right?
some more things now. I got a little girl with a trach, so it's like nursing school.
Oh
So
my,
we're doing it all, and thank God, thank the Lord,
Mhm.
yes.
and thanks to
Maintain,
y'all guys
maintain
for all
good
the help.
health.
Yeah, y'all guys,
Yeah.
all your help.
Oh, good. Good.
Good
Oh,
afternoon, Mrs. Bello. This is Honesty's mother.
oh, Anna, yes. Hi, Joy. How are you?
hello.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Good.
Good. We got our date coming up this week, right?
Yep.
All right. Miss Antos told you?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. I'm very excited.
Me too.
Thanks for joining us, you guys.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Of course, of course. All righty.
Can I
So,
ask that our new people put your first and last name in the chat so that I can include you in our attendance? We're so
yes,
glad you're here. I want to make sure that we have record of it.
I know this is so exciting. I get so happy when I see new faces. Honestly, this is so great. Um, okay. So I think so other than the COVID thing, I just some good things that I want to share happening at LP is that we have started our Black History celebration, and we started that last week. And so this kind of corresponds to what Penny was sharing, and the PTA hosted an event coming up on Thursday, where we can learn a little bit more about the cultural responsive teaching that we're all embarking on, and just making sure that we're really representing all of our families. I know that the district has started this work. Well, at least last year. I know I'm back new this year, but I know a lot of that was started last year. And so we're just really excited to be doing daily activities around Black history, and really allowing students that space to have safe discussions, and to talk about the world around them, and to talk about history, and really in an age appropriate way, help them understand today's events, right? And Black Lives Matter, and looking at our own demographics of our students, where over half of our students are Black and Brown students. And so just understanding that that's such a blessing, like that's such a good thing. And so we're just really excited to be having these discussions, and helping our kids have these discussions as well. So that's a good thing. And then we also have a kindness club. And yes, this is new, you guys. And so I had two fifth graders approach me, and they had this idea to start a kindness club. And then they went out and recruited four more fourth graders. So I'm up to this small group of kids, and they want to, they literally are driving this bus. They want to do a collection for the Irondequoit food cupboard. And they, and this was because we had been talking about Martin Luther King Jr., right? And one of his famous quotes is, "What are you doing for others?" Right? Like, how are you helping other people? And they wanted to put that into action. And they thought that maybe partnering with the Irondequoit food cupboard would be a great thing to do. So we're now in the process of contacting Debbie Evans, right, who runs the cupboard, and making that connection. So hopefully we'll have more communication around that. But I just was really impressed with this crew and happy to share that, you know, even in the midst of this crazy pandemic, our kids are thriving and they're doing well, and they want to do good things. So stay tuned for more information about that. So I think that's all for me. Any questions?
Just an idea to expand on that. I know on some of the, like the Rochester Facebook pages, a lot of the posts lately about the food cupboards have been more about like the neighborhood ones, like the ones that are just in like, you know, like the little free libraries, but they're like the little free pantries.
Oh, okay.
So going along with that, along with the food cupboard, are there any little food pantries in the neighborhoods that might make it easier for people to get to those? Because the hours for the Arundecoit food cupboard, we are so grateful to have it, but the hours are very limited.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if that would be also an option for other drop-offs too, or at least that sort of thing. So
Yeah, well, we would collect at the school. And then I know Debbie really well. So I think that we'd be able to work something out where, you know, we could even drop it off to her house or whatever is easier. So, but yeah, no, good suggestion. Cause that might, if people can't, especially for like our remote students, if they can't get to the school, if they'd rather do like a little donation. Something to think about. I really want the kids to drive this though. And I'll just be their communications PR person. So we'll see where it goes. Okay, awesome. Any other questions or comments? All righty. All right, Penny, back to you.
I did put the information in the chat just in case anybody, it was, like I said, in Mrs. Bellows talking points for the Thursday session that will be with the district. So it will be via Zoom. So I did just kind of put that in there if anybody is interested. It's also going to be posted on our Facebook page, but I know, you know, there's lots of different ways to communicate. Not everybody has Facebook. So I thought I'd put it in here, and then Mrs. Bello might be able to send out another one, you know, Thursday afternoon, like a talking points, you know, reminder, just like she did for today's PTA meeting. But what I'll do, Tiffany, do you want me to try and share last month? Well, it would be November's minutes. We didn't actually have a meeting in December. Do you want to share, or do you want me to grab them out of the shared drive, Tiffany, to review the minutes from November?
It's fine for me if you want to share them.
Okay.
Or you can do it either way.
Yeah, let me try and grab those here. I think it's right here. So let me just go ahead and share. So here we have the minutes from November 3rd that Tiffany can review. I don't know if I can make it any bigger or smaller. I don't know which way to go. Probably not smaller, because then you can't read it. But Tiffany can review last November's meetings, not yet last month's, from November.
Sure. I never really know what I'm supposed to say when it comes to these things, but I will go through.
Sorry.
We talked about the bylaws back then too, and we didn't have enough members then either to vote on it. We talked about the upcoming typical tall and small dance that we usually have, and looking for ways to make that happen this year, even though we can't be together and dancing. We had just come off our paint night, so we were talking about how that went. It went pretty well. We made some money and people seemed to have some fun. The treasurer's report is always the longest one. So we had some unexpected money from the Ridge Nickelback, thanks to Becky Monahan, who set that up through the MCC COVID testing site this summer. So we had a big deposit from there. And we also had the membership paint night. So we were hitting our budget goals pretty well at that point. Then let's see, we were talking about Red Ribbon Week and parent teacher conferences were coming. It feels like so long ago.
I know.
We had some events coming up, like the pie pickup, which couldn't have gone smoother. Everybody came and got their pies and we were out of there early. And I still have mine in my freezer, not to brag.
Mine are long gone.
I was gonna say, not a chance in the Bellow house.
Well, somebody gave me a different pie for Thanksgiving, so I ate that one instead. And then we were talking about like some free events that we could do maybe in this kind of dark days of winter, so that we could get just a ton of people to get online and interact with each other. And that's it.
Does anybody see any corrections that need to be made? I think you did a great job, Tiffany. I don't see
Yeah.
any here. So I think we accept the minutes as submitted. And then I can pull up the treasurer's report. Megan, if you want to go over that, I can pull that up right here.
As Penny's doing that, I just want to, you know, Tiffany, what you just said about getting together and trying to do something as a community. I've gotten a lot of feedback from students and staff that the one thing that's so different about this year is they just miss each other. And there's not a whole lot of opportunity for them to interact, and it feels very isolating. So even, I mean, our remote kids, right, for sure, because they're not even in the building, but then even our in-person students. And so teachers are like, anything we can do where it feels like they're getting out of the classroom, they're interacting with each other. So if there's anything that we can do from this group, I just think it would be so appreciated by our school community. So just something to think about.
Yeah, we had talked about doing like a bingo night or scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
or-
both of those are still on. If I zoom in here on the agenda, which we can get to as well. I also wanted to just check everybody's interest in, you know, the glow dance, typically called the tall and small, that Tiffany had mentioned. I wondered, it's not, you know, on the district calendar, obviously, because we all were waiting. So nobody was anticipating it. It was supposed to be for this, I think it was either this Friday or next Friday, but I'm wondering if maybe we shift the theme, still keeping it glow, and making it more, and Megan will go over the logistics with money, but a free event where we used to charge for that. I think we make it free event. And if we can, you know, spare some funds, that maybe we make glow sticks or some type of package that is available for all of the remote learners and then all of our in-person kids, and then, you know, figure out a way. Maybe it's just an hour's worth of time and we create like a Google Doc or something for students to put their favorite songs, and we kind of just collect a playlist of most popular or something, you know, like that. That was one of the things that I wanted to discuss today. If maybe we just have a heart theme for February, Lancers have heart, as opposed to the tall and small, but still keep the glow dance theme. And then, you know, some of these other things, Mrs. Bello, I just wanted to ask, and we can do it after Megan goes over the budget and the treasurer's report, but just like what's still on deck for the spring and what's still thinking virtually, and just so that we can kind of get some momentum for ideas later on as we close out for even like 5th grade picnic and t-shirts and stuff.
Okay.
All right, Megan, you ready?
I am.
Can you see? I am sharing it, right? Can everybody see the report?
I
No.
do not see your report whatsoever.
Not at all. Mine says I'm sharing the screen. Okay, let's try that again.
I mean, I printed mine off, but
It happens.
Can you see it now? Is it there?
now I can.
Okay. It's like hit or miss, picking straws over
Like-
here. There you go.
Oh, I keep on trying to scroll down like I have.
Oh, yeah,
controlled it.
sorry. I'll do it.
No, it's fine. So we ended our in November, we started with the $3,623. We took in deposits from Member Hub. So I think that's what used to be, that was the switch over. It used to be called like the WePay, and now I believe it's Member Hub is kind of what it looked like on the statement. So that's what I'm going from it. So $80 there. The pie fundraiser was $345. So that's cool because we weren't planning on that. We have another $16.60 from Ridge Nickelback. Becky it's Becky Monahan, who had put together the original COVID site from MCC. They switched over to another fundraiser for a couple of months. I haven't heard back from Becky if they want to switch over or if they're just kind of rotating funds every couple of months. So I don't know if we'll be getting another huge chunk or if it's just going to be my bottles and cans going there. So that's where that's from. We ended up getting a surprise check from Life Touch Pictures. So that's really cool. So that's the $520 there. And then we did get another membership for $5. We have had 0 withdrawals so far. So and then down at the bottom of it, if you scroll down, Penny, yep. So I finally got a hold of Mr. Savina, Mr. Trumpowski. I hope I spelled his name right. The outstanding check from NISMA from last March from the festivals getting canceled, they went and voided all of those checks. So the $96 is part of the total balance there. So that was the outstanding check that we've been kind of rolling over until we knew what to do with it. So the balance in the checking account right now is $4,590.21. Cash box is still $50. Savings account, the interest went in at the end of December for the 19 cents. So that's the $1,245.26 for a total available of $5,885.47. And
Great.
that's that.
Is that normal, Life Touch, getting a check like that?
So I think it goes back and forth every couple of years. I
Okay.
think we used to, like probably back when you were a teacher,
Yeah.
the PTA that was even one of their fundraisers.
Oh, I never knew that.
So yes, so now it's still there. The past couple of years, I think we were using that money to put towards the new teacher pictures. And then when I kind of blinked on that and had to ask like Paula Gullo and Jen Foster what that was all about, then they're like, oh yeah, that's for the teacher pictures on the wall. Then I remembered what was going on.
Okay.
So so that's where that money is. So if we need to reimburse the school for those new teacher pictures, then we can do that.
That'd
Or
be
whatever, but Lisa said she hadn't received an invoice yet from Life Touch. So
great. Yeah, we've been having some issues with them this year. I don't know why, but everything's taking a long time. So, okay.
from
good
the
to know.
sounds of Facebook, I'm pretty sure a lot of schools are in the same predicament
so.
that, yeah, so.
I think so. Okay.
So yeah, so that's the monthly budget as it is. Any questions?
I don't have any questions. Thank you, Megan. Anybody else? Amanda, I don't know, do you have anything from a vice president's report to say?
I do. I just wanted to, again, our last meeting was a long time ago and it must have been after our meeting. But I had exchanged communications with a handful of you and I had applied for 5 different grants that were through the National PTA. And I was surprised. So I think I have more to learn about the process. I saw that everything went to submitted and then I didn't get any communications about how the process was working or anything like that. And so I happened to just log in to say, can I see like where they are? And the awards for each of them are posted on the National PTA site. So I might reach out and just ask some questions. We weren't on the awards list for any of the 5 grants, but I was just curious to understand more about the process and hope to use it as a learning exercise. And we'll keep an eye on those. The process of applying was easy. And the amount of information that we were able to offer, I don't know if anybody's ever applied for a grant before. I think we had, something like 200 characters or 200 words for each response. So it wasn't a ton. I'm not super concerned that I didn't say enough or I said what I could, right? But I'll use it as a learning experience. And what those programs through the PTA do seem to be is tied to either a healthy habit or some sort of inclusivity. I know that off the top of my head, one of them was about trying to get kids to drink more water. One was something about the environment. A couple of them were STEM based. So they do, if we are awarded any, then we'll have to build a program that fulfills those needs, or lots of times they give us tools. Like I know for the water one, they would ship a bunch of water to the school and, water drinking charts and water bottles and all that kind of stuff. But so I will keep monitoring those on a periodic basis. I think it's something it looks like nationally are released quarterly, and I'll keep an eye on. It seems like New York State might do some specifically at the PTA level as well.
Great. Yeah, that's what I just wondered, if there's a particular deadline when everything is typically like in by a November or a March or something. So yeah, that'd be great, Amanda, if we, kind of take a look at that and
Yeah.
have some more ideas and things to do and apply for the next academic year. But thank you so much for all of your
Yeah.
research and work and effort that you put into that for us.
Sure.
I don't think, is there, no one from the board jumped on at all, right, Mrs. Bello?
Right.
Okay. So I'll skip over the board report, but I took from our like at a glance calendar. And again, many of it is not on the district, calendar, because they're going month to month, or, in those, short ways where we're trying to figure out if and when we might be able to be in person at all. But today I did drop off some goodies to LP to stock the faculty and staff lounge. So Mrs. Bello and Mrs. Lorberg will be putting that out for all teachers and staff, every, adult in the building, with just some general, snacks, drinks, chocolates, those types of things. I was fortunate enough to find a lot that were bulk individually wrapped for Valentine's Day. So it worked out. So that will be available. So if anybody happens to say thank you, it is something that was put on by the PTA that I dropped off
Yes,
today.
thank
But I
you
wonder.
so much, everybody.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that we'll put those out tomorrow, but I guarantee it'll be a huge hit. So thank you
Yeah,
very much.
definitely was one we did it one back in September as we launched into the, first day of school. So we didn't do anything leading into the holidays, and everybody's busy and doing their own kind of teacher gifts, maybe if in that regard. So
Right.
we thought a welcome back would be great. So, the office staff let us know that this Wednesday would be a good, so they're going to enjoy those goodies tomorrow. But I did just put a few other bullet points that I don't know, Mrs. Bello, if you can, just give us any idea. So we kind of just briefly talked about, having a glow dance virtually, and I just threw out those dates there, but we also had planned for talent show that could potentially be, virtually. And I know that's a big undertaking where Heather Herman had done it before. So Mr. Hiley last year was going to look into somebody that might want to coordinate it. I don't think that got very far. So I don't even know where any of that might be. And then just as far as, March is around the corner, and that's where Science Fair was last year. Is there going to be one? And then certainly related to t-shirts, we want to make sure those fifth graders get their t-shirts. And I know last year we were waiting if we were going to go back to school, and we didn't. So I just want to kind of have a better grasp on that, this year. So those are the next upcoming kind of bigger things throughout the end of June, so to speak.
No, this is awesome. So we're at this like weird transitional space, right? Where we're more open to doing these kinds of events. We still can't host large gatherings, so we're restricted in that sense. But, I think teachers, staff, we're really trying to think about like, how can we end the year with a little bit of normalcy? So for example, the spring book fair and the science fair. So I'm meeting with Mrs. Costello actually tomorrow to talk about how we can do that. And we're actually trying to come up with a safe way to do an actual book fair where people could come in and get books, because our fall book fair, I think we raised like $100, which great start. We're appreciative. But they're used to raising quite a bit of money from that. I think like
Yeah, like
last year,
33, at least 3,000, right,
I was
Mrs.
gonna
Bello?
say,
I
it was
think
like
something
3
in
or
that
4,000.
range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's, Mrs. Costello's super creative. So she's drawing pictures for me and doing one way, drawings of how people could come in and safely look at books and potentially purchase those books. And then in that same space, like how could we do a science fair? How could we do that virtually, and so we're just starting to have those conversations as a staff. I love the idea of a glow dance in February. I think it would be super easy, that's just my opinion, to do, and to have the kids get on here and music blasting and they can dance, and it's not I don't think it'd be a huge commitment. So
I have a
love that
question
idea.
on that.
Yeah.
My son's a remote learner, and so he has Teams, but do all of the kids have Teams? Is that on their school iPads already? So would it be better to do something on that to ensure that all of the kids had connectivity?
Sure.
Yes,
versus
you're right.
Zoom?
Yeah, I would agree, because I do think Hellendale might have had something within the last month or two, and I think it didn't go over well because of that exact same thing. And I think it was just a miscommunication that the kids didn't have Zoom on, and everybody thought that they still did from last year. So you're right.
Right,
It should
yeah.
be definitely, I don't have very much working knowledge through Teams, but we can probably figure it out, or recruit some of your teachers, Mrs. Bello, to kind of
Totally.
help
Oh,
us figure
yeah.
it out.
But all of the kids have devices, right?
Correct.
And I know there was efforts early on, or maybe it was even last spring. Do all of the kids have the means to be connected from home, or was that like as kids? Okay, so
Yep.
so it would be. We know that part is covered from an
access standpoint,
yes.
that wouldn't be an issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah. So I think the kids would get a kick out of it. And even if they just want to like stare, like it's all different comfort levels. If they want to dance, they can dance. If they just want to stare at each other, they can stare, but I think that could be really fun.
We need to ship everybody disco balls like Sasha's. Like that's
Yeah.
she's
Sasha,
already
where
ready.
did you get your disco ball?
Or whatever, the fancy
Yeah,
lights
that's
on the
right,
ceiling.
yeah.
I love it.
Should we then, just for the sake of time, I mean, I don't think we need to reserve anything, but would we go with Friday the 26th maybe, just for the sake of, being one more week out than the 19th?
When is the next?
think so.
When is the next for remote students? When's the next pickup day? Is it this Friday and then?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
Let me look at the calendar here.
I think it's this Friday, and then the 26th would be a pickup day too. So we would just want to make sure if we were sending anything home for kids that we would
Send it on that date.
We would actually.
how many parents don't pick up on the day of? Like I know there's some that can't, right?
We have, right there, but we have means to get that to families who have difficulty doing that. So we're pretty lucky in that aspect. But we would have to, the only thing, you guys, with the February break, there's a pickup on February 5th, and then there's not another pickup until the 26th.
Okay.
So
Right.
we would either have to have everything ready to go by the 5th to go home, or they would have to come get it the 26th. But not everyone
That's what I
can
meant.
get it.
Right. And so the people that don't come on the 26th, like the district can deliver, but it wouldn't necessarily get to them that day.
Usually it's the Monday. So it would be March 1st, which is after the fact.
I mean, we could look into March, but do we want to keep it in February from a heart perspective, thinking February, or I mean, any day is good as any day. I guess we could do it.
The worst is if a kid couldn't pick up, they could still absolutely come to the party. They just wouldn't have a glow bag, right?
Right.
Yeah, we can talk about it. We can spend more time offline, but
yeah. I think we should shoot for the 26th and talk about it some more. And like maybe there's a way that we can get them stuff earlier. Like if we have it ready,
Yeah, I mean, if
Mrs.
we're
Bello,
just
if you'd be
buying
willing
something on
to- yeah.
Amazon, I'm sure we could definitely get it by the 5th. It's just a matter of putting it, getting the stuff and putting it together. So I don't
Yeah.
see a problem in that either. My only concern with that would be like, what if they lose it or break it or use
No,
it
I don't mean
before
that. I mean
the
for the
25th?
kids, I think the 26th is fine for distribution, but if there's families that we know can't make that delivery date, then maybe, the week prior, like we can talk about a plan to
Yeah.
get it out to those kids in specific.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
don't have any
hey,
problem
Amanda-
doing front porch drop-offs or anything if we have to, right?
Well, it changes, Amanda.
Okay.
So it's
You don't
not like
usually
the
know until that
yeah,
day?
we don't usually
Okay.
know until that day. And some pickups, a lot of families can come and pick up things. And then there are some pickups where we have quite
Okay.
a few that weren't able to make it. So,
So it's not before, you don't usually know until after, and then you guys look at what's
Correct.
left and then you deliver on Monday. I gotcha.
Yes. So if at all possible, I know it's a few weeks, the 5th is so early though.
Yeah, especially since break week is in there,
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust my kid not to
That's what I just like, if we give them on the 5th, they're gonna lose them or break them or use it, and then
Or
it's
use
gone.
it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can talk about it offline, but okay. And then another idea I had yesterday was, speaking of connection, Mrs. Bello, and
Yeah.
the teachers, and I think it might be a good way to get teachers and students together. What about like I don't know what day, maybe a Friday night, like a virtual pet show or something where you just like show your dog or show your fish or give a trick or something where it's just if everybody, not like an attendance or a registration, but if we knew a name and what your pet's name was, then we could call you out and say like, oh, Ben Myler, show us your English Bulldog. Or, I just thought about that as far as a connection point as well. And then maybe some of the teachers would be able to do it as well.
Yeah.
That was just something fun.
Oh my gosh. Well, if it's one thing I've learned being present on some of the remote classes, the kids love to show things around their home. It's
Yeah.
so funny. I'm a huge distraction when I go in there because be like, Mrs. Bello, look at my dog, and the cameras are all going. So they would love it. They would love it.
I just thought that'd be a fun, like a quick thing. I was just trying to think of like pop-up PTA events, like just random things that we can,
I like that.
We had so much
That's
fun
cool.
on that paint night that
That
it just
was
ended up being
awesome.
like kids telling jokes to each other. And it was just so nice and innocent and fun for, 60 minutes. And then wasn't a long time, so those kinds of things I think we can try to do, more of in the new year.
I will tell you, so we're gonna try the whole bingo thing. So the kids, they're earning heart tickets for a
Okay.
school-wide bingo event. So I'll let you know how it goes, but that could be something too that we do in the spring. The
Mrs.
kids
Bello,
are
do you know
really
that
excited.
there
Yeah.
is bingo stuff in our PTA cupboard if you needed it?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where exactly, but Jess Krupa, when we did it in the spring of 2019,
Okay.
she donated the wheel and the
Oh my
whatever.
God, that's so fun. Okay,
So
I was
just
gonna
have
go out
somebody
and
go
buy
peek.
it.
It's in there
Okay.
somewhere. I'm not sure
Okay.
which cupboard, but there should be some bingo things.
I'll ask
in there.
Mrs. Lorberg.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll know. Oh, that's so fun.
And I liked during our last meeting, you said that the district would allow like a sledding day, but the Mother
Where's
Nature
that
has to allow us
smell?
a sledding day, right? But on that theme, and if we wanted to do something community-based, would we be allowed to do, like, I would loosely call it a hunt. So I like the idea of getting a bunch of those cheap plastic eggs and then letting kids look for them. Or collect them, but is that not safe, or is focusing on Easter too much of a roadblock?
Yeah.
Like, is there
So
so those
especially
eggs
like
come in
in
different
our-
colors? Like I was like, what if we did it around Valentine's Day or something and just only got pink and red and white eggs or something? I don't know.
Yeah, as long as it's not an Easter theme, right? Because
Okay.
in our CRT work, like we're really trying to get away from, holidays that only, some of our students, or at least, at least find a way to encompass more of
So
holidays and religions.
maybe
So
we could just get blue eggs, like all the different colors of blue, and make it a Lancers thing then instead
Yeah.
of, but we could do like a spring egg or something as the weather gets a little bit warmer or something. If people were masked, we're allowed to use the property and do that, do you think?
yeah, but you still can't do gatherings over 50.
Okay.
That's but who knows? Things
Right.
keep
You don't know how
changing
many
on a
people.
daily
Yeah.
basis.
Or
That,
do it maybe in waves, like,
right.
I mean, there's probably more than 50 fourth graders and more than 50, like, I just wondered if you could do it by a grade level as a certain time and then shift through maybe to another, like there's zones or time slots or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
To keep to keep less than 50.
We could do this, something like that. Nothing's insurmountable. That's what I've realized. You can do almost everything. You just have to be really thoughtful about and following the rules. And maybe with the vaccines out there now, maybe we'll start to see some of the regulations loosen.
Does anybody else have any ideas out there that they would like to share or chime in on what they think are good events, just to open up the floor for a little other discussion? We're getting close to 8 o'clock and we like to keep it, at a 1 hour's time, but we certainly want to make sure everybody, if they have something to add, that they do. And if you did have anything, we do have our Laurelton Pardee PTA at Gmail email address. So maybe what I'll do working in the next week or two is putting together some type of flyer or something, Mrs. Bello, along with like membership information, and just solicit some ideas in different ways. Or I'll kind of explore a little bit more with like a Google form or something like that.
We could
where
use the
people-
Microsoft form.
Okay.
And I could help you develop that, and we could just get that out to families and get some ideas.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. I just think that,
Okay.
the beginning of the school year, we were waiting to see, like what's going to happen. Now we're already at January. Before we know it, June's going to be here. So we should, just get some of these things, planned with some added help. And I think, we've always found if we ask, we have no problem getting help. So if we just kind of build some ideas and then ask for help, and then more people might be, willing to give their insight or time or whatever, if we just kind of build some framework around it. So, okay, thank you.
All right, cool. So just so I'm on the same page as you guys, so you already did the stock the faculty lounge, which is great. And so we're going to really focus on the glow dance, right? Next for February.
For February 26th, we'll go for that.
I'm so excited about that. Okay, that'll be really fun. Okay.
And then the virtual game night, typically we've had a bingo before, or I've never used like Kahoot. I know my kids do, but maybe there's something that we could put together that's more of that kind of game night as opposed to a double bingo, if if the students are going to be doing that in school.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And then, I'll get back to you guys maybe next month about the science fair.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll have a little bit more direction on that. And that will tie with the book fair too, so.
Good, yeah, and then so our next meeting on the bottom of this agenda is Tuesday, February 2nd. So that's not even that far, away. So we can kind of keep the momentum going, work a little bit between now and then, gear up a little bit more for that glow dance for the 26th, and then maybe have some other things kind of solidified, for some spring events and some pop-up virtual nights or something.
Okay, awesome. Good deal. And Amal, Sasha, and Diane, I hope you guys can join us next week. And we love seeing your faces. And if you ever have ideas, this group is really about the ideas too. of how we can be a great school community.
Sasha,
So I
Amal,
wanted
and Diane, not to interrupt, if you would be willing to help, if you want to put your email address in there, then we know we might be able to count on you for ideas or something. Don't feel obligated, but if you would like, maybe, you know, we can reach out to you in the next week or two for you to help us brainstorm, you know, some things too. If you're willing, just go ahead and put your email address in the chat, and then Tiffany can take it down.
I'll do
Amal,
that.
you were gonna say something. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I just wanted to introduce myself.
Yes,
My
do.
daughter just started school today with Easter around to quit. And then
Oh,
when I
your
got the
new
email,
district?
I was,
Oh my
yes, I'm very
Oh,
new to the district.
welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey.
What grade?
Aw.
What grade?
Yeah, so when I got the text message, I was like, I have to get to meet this ladies because I don't even know who they are. So I
Yes.
assumed it was ladies, but I shouldn't assume. But so, I mean, I've heard the principal's name, but I didn't know who you are. So nice to meet you.
Oh,
Because
nice
I
to
know
meet you
I
too.
wanted to wait for you to place her in a class. And they said your name a couple times, but I didn't know who you are. So
Oh,
it's
yes.
nice to meet you guys. I will leave my email. Yes, I can help. I don't have ideas now because my brain is tired after 12-hour shift.
That's all. Oh, yeah.
Part of being an essential worker, but I can
Oh.
definitely help because I was in her PTA in her last school. So I
Wonderful.
enjoy
We're
getting
so
to know other
happy to
people.
have you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Oh, so good. Awesome. Thanks for introducing yourself. Diane, did you want to introduce yourself? I don't know if we've met yet. That's okay if you don't want to either. Just thought I'd give you a chance. Maybe not. Okay.
Well, so we look forward for our next meeting Tuesday, February 2nd at 7 o'clock. And if there are no other additions or comments, then this meeting is adjourned at 7:58. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Yeah.
night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All of ya guys.
Bye.
Oh, Sasha, look at that baby.
She's a workout. She just woke up. She's about to
Oh.
work me out. And I
Oh
am
dear.
so
Oh, I'm
ready.
about to go to bed.
That's my plan. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
Bye.
bye guys.
Bye.
All right, we'll see ya.
Bye-bye.